Hello, this is for Tuesday, September 1st, and these are your three key vocab words. First one is domain, which is the set of all possible x values. Essentially, you're just going to ask yourself how far can the graph go to the left or to the right, and then you're going to write a set for that. Then there's the range, which is the set of all possible y values. And that'd be how far up or down can the graph go. And then sometimes there's limits, sometimes that's infinity or negative infinity. And then lastly, function notation, just a reminder that you would read that as f of x equals x plus a or any other equation. And then the f of x essentially is just replacing the letter y. Again, that's function notation. All right, so let's try an example. This is the first problem off of your page today. So the first thing I'm going to look for a domain. Again, domain is my x information. I want to know how far left or right can this graph go. Now, since this arrow here is pointing me kind of to the left, and this arrow here is pointing me kind of to the right, and that means my domain is the set of everything starting from negative infinity all the way up to positive infinity. All right. Next, I will look for my range, and again, my range is going to be my list of y values. And it looks like, again, we've got these arrows pointing up, so it's going up forever. But at the bottom, there are no arrows. This thing does have a bottom out zone. Down here at negative 4, that's as low as it goes. So I would write my number set for the range as negative 4 being the lowest that it goes, all the way up to positive infinity, which is the highest that it goes. All right. Next, I'll be asked to find intercepts. Those would be these key spots here. I see 3 of them. I don't care how you write them. I'm going to write them as an ordered pair. So this first one over here at negative 3, 0. And then there's one here at 1, 0. And honestly, you can just write them on the graph, and that would be good enough too, instead of having to write them a second time like I am over here. Those are terrible zeros. 3, 0, and 1, 0. And then this one down here, which would be at 0, comma, negative 3. So there'd be 3 intercepts on that one. And then function values. That's actually taking these pieces down here and finding out their answer. So f of negative 2. So this right here is called your input. That's your x number. All right, that's f of x. So where x is negative 2, so that means go on the x-axis over here to negative 2, and then go down, what's the answer? Well, at that spot, the answer would equal negative 3. And then the second one, f of positive 2. So again, I start at the origin, I go over to positive 2, and I want to know where the answer for the graph is there. It looks like it's up here. I'm going to get the estimate of 5. All right. So I hope the directions make sense. Again, the domain is the first thing. Asking yourself how far can the graph move to the left or to the right. If it is an arrow, that means it goes to infinity. Infinity to the left would be a negative infinity. The infinity to the right would be the positive. Then the range is your up and down motion. How far can it go up or down? Again, if it has arrows, that's an infinity. Arrows pointing up is positive. Arrows pointing down would be negative. But if it does have a minimum or a maximum value, a point that it stops and changes directions, then you have to list that as well, whether it's at the bottom or at the top. If it's at the bottom, you would list it first, where I listed this negative 4. All right. If it's at the top, you would have listed it second. All right, then intercepts, again, x and y intercepts, and then function values, using the graph to find answers when you have the x input value. Again, that input value is the x. So that 2 and that negative 2, those were x's. That's where, again, where you had to remember function notation. Again, the number that you put in is the x number. The number that you get out, the answer, is the y number. All right, hope this makes sense. Again, don't forget that you can do a Zoom, join the Zoom meeting if you are still stuck or would like to see more examples than just this one. All right, good luck.